we are lucky to have the governor-elect, and she's been graceful. She's agreed to speak to us. And the first question, obviously, Larry, that a lot of people out there will be waiting to hear from her is, how does she feel? She's one of the three lady or female governors to be elected in this election. So I think that's where to begin. And first, congratulations. And my question will be, how do you feel about the fact that women have had an opportunity in this election to be elected for the first time? And it's election, not even nominated, it's election.
I think it's very exciting. First of all, I think it's a major milestone for the women of this country. I think we have broken one more glass ceiling, and I think now going forward we will have a lot more women coming out. I think usually the problem is to have someone actually attempt to stand and win, and then therefore the others get bold enough to stand. So we're very, very pleased, we're excited, and from the mood that I have seen around, it's not just the women who are excited. I think everybody in the country is excited that we've made that milestone, so we're all happy.
And you know, you have spoken for a lot of young ladies in this country by your election. But the other thing is, how tough was the terrain for a lady to be elected?
It's tough. It is so tough. It is extremely tough. I think we need to do a lot more voter education. We need to do a lot more capacity building for women. We need to support women a lot more. And I know some people will say then it makes the ground not level, but considering the distance that women have to run to catch up with where the men are, and that being our constitutional obligation, because we said not more than 2/3 will be of either gender, I think we need to do a lot more. We need to do a lot more. Institutions need to come out to support, both in terms of training, in terms of resources, in terms of providing secretariats, for example. Some of us walked in, we didn't know anything, you know, so we barely, I wouldn't say made it, but it was tough. We barely survived the roughness of the campaign. It's really tough. And then being trained also to be prepared. There are very many things you're not prepared for. The insults, for example. I'd gone through a very rough patch, so we assumed that I'd be able to take quite a... So if you've never been through anything and then you try and start, it can be quite shaking. So to all the women out there who have an ambition or who think they have an ability to lead this country, not necessarily go through a political process, I think it's a small price to pay.
All right. Now that you have spoken about that, you feel this is your vindication, because you've spoken about the rough patch, and ordinarily a lot of people would have not expected Ann Waiguru to be elected, but you have gotten elected. Do you think this is your vindication, finally?
I don't know. I think that's for people to judge. Mine is to say that people are a lot more smarter than we think. We sit in Nairobi, create this chamber, I call it an echo chamber, where we keep talking to ourselves, the elite. We go to social media and talk to ourselves, we write newspapers, and we assume that the Kenyans out there do not see through when something is being driven by another agenda. They do see. Okay. They're the ones who call you and tell you, come and stand here. We know what you've gone through, we know who's behind it, and they haven't even been to Nairobi, so to speak. So what I can say is that voters are a lot more smarter than we think, and they make their judgment call themselves, and they then decide who to put in a place of leadership. If it's to make a statement, they do it, and I'm very pleased that the people of Kirinyaga have expressed their confidence in me and know that right. It was an attack on my person for other reasons, and they know that I'm innocent.
All right. And finally, the reason why we are here is because of this anxiety and the hope that a presidential candidate will be declared. From where you stand, having gone through the election, do you think the Kenyans have a reason to wait any longer for this election, or you think the election should be called, as that now Kenyans should be settled knowing very well who their president is?
I think everybody would want to have sorted this issue by now. But let me say this. I think from the conduct of the election so far, we have seen the IEBC being very meticulous. Even at the constituency level, I only had 4 constituencies in my county, and it took 3 days to get a certificate, to get them to finalize. And you'd rather they did that and gave you results that are not questioned than they rush through things and then you have questions. So I wouldn't judge them. I have complete faith in them, in the sense that from what we are seeing, from what we've had, they are doing the best they can, and the only thing we can do is appeal to everybody, both the Kenyan people and the leaders to be patient, and we wait for the results. And I'm sure they will announce it in good time. I don't think they intend to deliberately delay it. They've been giving us updates, and despite the pressure, I would imagine the pressure they're under, with everybody coming here and all the things that we are talking about out there. And I'm sure they also understand the magnitude of their decision, and we know that they have taken oath of office, and we can only trust that they understand their oath of office. And so we will wait patiently. We are working out to take a break and come back for ourselves. We'll keep waiting, and we'll believe that in not too long they will make the announcement.
All right. Thank you very much, Ann Waiguru speaking to me. She's the governor-elect of the county of Kirinyaga.